All right. Here's a question that has started more arguments at dinner tables than politics and pineapple on pizza combined. Did Jesus actually die, like physically dead, gone, checked out, lights off? Because here is the thing that most people never stop to notice. Two of the biggest religions on planet Earth, Christianity and Islam, we are talking billions of people, they actually agree that Jesus was a real guy who really walked around. They just wildly, spectacularly disagree about how his story ended. And both of them cannot be right. That is not me being spicy. That is just logic. So today we are going to do something fun. We are going to separate what history can actually prove from what each religion concludes. Big difference. Stick with me. This is really good. So let us start with the setup, right? Christianity says Jesus was crucified, he died, he got buried, and then, plot twist of the millennium, he came back. Islam teaches something different. In the Qur'an, chapter 4, verses 157 and 158, it says that Jesus was not actually killed and he was not crucified to death, but it was made to appear that way to the people. Make sense? So one side says he died on that cross, the other side says, nope, did not happen. Both of these cannot be historically true at the same time. Somebody is wrong. So let us play detective. First things first. Did this guy even exist? And I love this part because a lot of folks assume Jesus is like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, some legend people cooked up. Frankly, no. Virtually no serious historian doubts that Jesus of Nazareth was a real human being who lived in the first century. And here is the kicker. We do not just know this from the Bible. We have Roman writers, we have Jewish writers, people who had zero interest in making Christianity look good. You have got Josephus, a Jewish historian. You have got Tacitus, a Roman historian who was frankly kind of a hater, which makes him a great witness. You have got Pliny the Younger. You have got Lucian of Samosata. These are non-Christian sources, right? So when people say Jesus is made up, that is like saying Julius Caesar is made up. Jesus is one of the best documented people of the entire ancient world. That is beat one. He existed. Moving on. Beat two, and this is the big one, so buckle up. Did he get crucified and actually die? And here is where the historical evidence just goes absolutely bonkers strong. The crucifixion of Jesus is considered one of the most certain facts in all of ancient history. I am not exaggerating. That same Roman historian, Tacitus, flat out writes that Jesus was executed under Pontius Pilate, a Roman official, on the record. And think about who is doing the executing here. Roman soldiers. These guys were not amateurs. This was their job. And it was a job where if you messed it up, if you let a prisoner survive, your life was on the line. So the idea that a squad of professional executioners just, kind of botched it and let the guy stroll off, that is a tough sell. And here is the part people do not realize about crucifixion. It was engineered to kill. It was not a punishment that sometimes worked. The whole gruesome design of it, the way it forced the body into a position where you slowly could not breathe, it was built to guarantee death, sometimes over hours, sometimes over days. The Romans were, and I say this with a shudder, extremely good at it. So when you put it all together, professional killers, a method designed for death, and multiple independent sources reporting it, you get a conclusion that historians across the entire spectrum agree on. Christian historians, Jewish historians, atheist historians, agnostic historians, people who agree on basically nothing else, all shake hands on this one. Jesus was crucified and Jesus died. And right there, that is the moment things get interesting, because that broad historical consensus runs smack into that specific claim in the Qur'an that he was not killed on the cross. Now, let me be super careful and super fair here, because this is where cheap arguments fall apart, and I do not do cheap. History proving he died is one thing. What happened next is a different conversation. So beat three, After he died, he was buried, and soon after, his followers start reporting that the tomb is empty. Now, is the empty tomb a rock solid fact? A lot of historians accept it, but not all of them. So I am going to be honest and file that one under strongly argued but debated. I am not going to oversell you. That is not the deal here. But here is what is genuinely wild. And this is the part that even the skeptics tend to grant. The earliest Christian sources report that a whole bunch of people claim they saw Jesus alive after he died. And we are not talking one emotional guy who missed his friend. The list is specific. Peter saw him, the 12 disciples saw him, a man named James, and then this one is bananas. More than 500 people at one time, according to the Apostle Paul, who writes it down early and basically says, hey, a lot of these people are still alive. Go ask them yourself. And then there is Paul himself, who is maybe the best twist in the whole story, because Paul did not start as a fan. Paul was out there persecuting Christians, actively hunting them down, and then he flips 180 degrees and becomes their loudest voice. That is like the head of the rival gang suddenly showing up wearing your team jersey, and here is the sharp point, the thing I really want you to hold on to. Even skeptical, non-believing historians will generally agree that these people sincerely believed they saw the risen Jesus. That part is not really the fight. The debate is not whether they believed it. The debate is what explains it, right? Was it a name lion? Was it a hallucination? Was it a legend that grew? Or was it, as Christians say, exactly what it looked like? That is the real conversation, and it is an honest one. So why does any of this matter? Here is the punchline. Something extraordinary happened after this man died. Because you take a group of followers who are, let us be real, terrified. Their leader just got publicly executed by the most powerful empire on earth. These guys scattered, they hid, they were scared out of their minds. And then in a shockingly short amount of time, they flip into these bold, loud public witnesses who are willing to get beaten, thrown in prison, and in many cases straight up killed, rather than take it back. And nobody dies for something they know they made up. People die for things they are convinced are true. So let me land the plane, because I want to be really precise here. No historical argument can force you to believe Jesus rose from the dead. I am not going to stand here and pretend history can do that, because it cannot. And anybody who tells you otherwise is selling something. But history can establish a set of facts, and here they are, clean. Jesus existed, Jesus was crucified, Jesus died. His followers very quickly started proclaiming that he had risen and appeared to them. And Christianity exploded across the ancient world because those people were genuinely bet their lives convinced it was true. Christians look at that and conclude he rose just like he said he would. Other people offer other explanations, and that is a fair fight to have. But here is the one conclusion that is really, really hard to square with the historical evidence, that Jesus never died on that cross at all, because the crucifixion and the death, that is about as close to bedrock as ancient history gets. And since the Qur'an specifically denies that Jesus died by crucifixion, that broad historical consensus puts a real serious question mark right on that specific claim. That is not an attack. That is just where the evidence points. In my view, that is the honest place to leave it. History gets you to the cross and the death. What you do with the empty tomb and the 500 witnesses, well, that is between you and the evidence. Anyways, that is the deal. Chew on it. Questions, comments, concerns, bribes. I will see you in the next one.